Well, this is Jared with Stampede Blue. This is your Indianapolis Colts post-game wrap, and the Colts won today at home. Final score 28-27, and are now 9-6. They need a little help, but as long as they win next week, they should be fine. And the Colts will very well make the playoffs, even win the division. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles today. They beat the Houston Texans, and that means if Houston loses next week, the Colts win. The Colts win the division. And then, of course, the Colts will be cheering for the Saints to beat the Steelers tonight. That would be helpful. And then, of course, we'll be cheering for the Browns to beat the Ravens next week. That would be awful nice, too. And here we are. The Colts won today at home, largely because we have Andrew Luck. And because outside of that first quarter, which we've got to admit, literally, if it went wrong, it could have did everything but turn the ball. Well, we did that, too. But the Colts went 3 and out on 2 straight drives. We're down 2 touchdowns. And then from the end of the first quarter on, the Colts outscored the Giants 28-13 to come back and win one, to score when you need to. Colts are down 6, need to score with 3 minutes left, and you knew it was going to happen, right? Andrew Luck, 31 of 47, 357 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked once. He was trying to throw a ball away over Eric Ebron's head after he gave up on a route to throw an interception. But other than that, Andrew Luck is really good. The Colts are really fortunate. And the Colts' mantra this year has been get 1% better. And today, those who did that were the Colts wide receivers. Today, Chester Rogers, 7 catches on 7 targets. Dontrell Inman, 4 catches on 5 targets, both scored touchdowns. And, of course, T.Y. Hilton did T.Y. things, but without the Colts proved today that even without a really good tight end, they could still move the ball and score when they have to. And I get it. The Giants aren't really the defense that you want to showcase that, right? But if you look at winning individual position battles, the Colts did what they had to do to win. The run game was largely ineffective, and the Colts defense did do a great job of shutting down arguably the best football player in this past NFL draft, right? Saquon Barkley, the Giants' 2nd overall pick from this last year. The Colts held to 21 carries for 34 yards. He had a 1-yard touchdown. I think he had 5 catches for 21 for 43. And then 5 catches for 34 yards. So he didn't even have 100 yards of total offense. The Colts have not allowed a 100-yard rusher all year. In additional shout-outs today, Rigoberto Sanchez punted really well today and pinned the Giant offense deep on a few occasions. And that really, winning the field of position battle is really helpful when your defense is struggling. And the Colts did struggle on defense today. Eli Manning is a veteran NFL quarterback. He has Super Bowls, and he really did. Without Odell Beckham Jr., Sterling Shepard had himself a fine afternoon. And of course, in terms of injuries, the Colts did have. We were without Clayton Geathers, we were without Anthony Walker, among others. And then, of course, over the course of the game. Interesting, Jared. Ryan Kelly, the Colts center, went down with a neck injury. Eric Ebron got thrown into traffic by Andrew Luck and went down with a concussion. And then Kenny Moore and Quincy Wilson went down. So the Colts will need to get healthy, need to win next week. It would be really nice in a rebuilding year to put yourselves in a position to be 10-6, to potentially even win your division. And yeah, certainly not how I thought that game was going to go. But the Colts did what great football teams do, and that is when you're behind, you do whatever it takes to win. And Andrew Luck today, in my opinion, trusted his receivers to make a play after the catch and not try to throw them into the play, if that makes sense. Because he hadn't been doing that from the beginning of the season. He was putting the ball on guys, and then they're just getting tackled. And now you're starting to see him make some plays after the catch and stretch out and get a first down. And T.Y. Hilton put on a master class. So it really looks like, outside of not being able to generate a pass rush, it's readily apparent that the Colts are onto something when you are down early, You are inefficient in the run game. You are unable to stop your opponent on third down. When you're able to do enough to get a couple stops, and then Malik Hooker gets an interception off Eli Manning to seal it. We're really fortunate. The Colts have a lot to work on. They're only gonna get better. Obviously, like I said, a lot of people this year said the Colts are going to be 2-14, 4-12. That Andrew Luck's washed up. The Colts don't, you don't draft offensive linemen in the top 10. The Colts kind of showed how they're going to win and play football, and here we are, 9-6. Need a little help, like we said, and we'll take it. So, like I said, we need the Saints to win over the Steelers tonight. Philly helped us by beating Houston today. Houston needs to lose next week. We need to beat the Titans. The Ravens need to beat the Browns. And who knows what could happen. Colts may even end up winning the division this year. So certainly happy to get a win, right? We'll take a win every day, every single way we can get one. And this was one of those gritty wins, right? Chopping wood, all that stuff, like just going out there and doing it, and are getting rather fortunate. That big time players are making big time plays for the Colts, and that's exactly what happened today. If you just look at the way the game turned out, Malik Hooker, first round draft pick. Look at Darius Leonard pacing the field with 9 tackles. Look at T.Y. Hilton having a big game, and look at Andrew Luck, 4 drives of 75 or more yards, straight up scoring touchdowns, not kicking field goals. And here we are in a position to potentially go to the playoffs. So this has been Jared with Stampede Blue. This has been your Indianapolis Colts post-game wrap. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. We'll see you next week.